History remembers Spartacus as a gladiator who dared to defy the might of Rome, a symbol of rebellion, a beacon of hope for the oppressed. But every great man, every legend has an untold story. A story woven from the threads of loyalty, love, and sacrifice often spun by the women in their lives. This isn't just the story of Spartacus the warrior, the rebel, the legend. This is the story of the women behind the legend. The women who loved him, stood by him, fought alongside him. Women whose names may be lost to the sands of time, but whose courage and sacrifice deserve to be remembered. This is their story. Her name is lost to us, swallowed by the cruelty of time. But we know this. She was a Thracian, like Spartacus. A woman of fierce spirit and unwavering loyalty. She was the woman who called Spartacus husband, lover, friend. Imagine their life together, in those stolen moments before the nightmare of slavery tore their world apart. Did they share dreams under a Thracian moon, dreams of a future free from Roman tyranny? Did she see the fire in his eyes, the smoldering embers of rebellion waiting to be fanned into a raging inferno? We know she was a source of strength for Spartacus, a woman who embodied the spirit of freedom he so desperately craved. Some historians believe she was a priestess, a woman of power and influence. Perhaps it was her words that ignited the spark of defiance within him, that gave him the courage to lead the revolt. But their love story, like so many others forged in the fires of rebellion, was destined for tragedy. Roman brutality spared no one, not even the wife of the man they feared most. We can only imagine the depth of Spartacus's grief, the burning rage that fueled his fight for vengeance. We may never know her name, but her spirit lived on in every battle cry, every victory won by Spartacus's army. She was the warrior's wife, and her sacrifice would not be forgotten. Mira, a name that whispers of rebellion, of unwavering loyalty forged in the crucible of shared suffering. She was a fellow slave who answered Spartacus's call, a woman who chose freedom over fear. Imagine the conditions in those gladiatorial schools, the brutal training, the constant threat of death. Mira endured it all, her spirit unbroken. She saw in Spartacus a glimmer of hope, a chance to break free from the shackles that bound them. She rose through the ranks, a warrior in her own right, earning the respect of her fellow rebels. Was she a strategist, offering wise counsel to Spartacus? Or a fierce fighter, her blade a blur of defiance against the Roman oppressors? We may never know the full extent of her contributions, but we know this. Mira was more than just a follower. She was a trusted lieutenant, a confidant, perhaps even a lover. Their bond, forged in the fires of rebellion, would have been unbreakable. Think of her courage, her unwavering belief in Spartacus's vision. She fought alongside him, bled alongside him, and ultimately met her fate alongside countless others on that blood-soaked battlefield. Mira may not have found freedom in the traditional sense, but her spirit lived on, inspiring generations to fight for a just and equitable world. Chapter 3. Laeta, from enemy to ally. Laeta. Her story is a testament to the power of empathy, the courage to choose compassion over prejudice. Born into the privileged world of Roman nobility, fate had other plans for Laeta. She was to become a symbol of the blurred lines between enemy and ally, of the complexities of the human heart. Imagine her world, a world of opulent villas and political intrigue. Then picture the chaos, the fear as Spartacus's rebellion shattered the illusion of Roman invincibility. How would it have felt to see her world turned upside down, her privilege challenged by a force she couldn't control? History remembers Laeta as a Roman noblewoman captured by Spartacus's forces. But she was more than just a hostage. She was a woman forced to confront the brutal reality of Roman rule, the suffering inflicted upon those deemed lesser. Perhaps it was Spartacus's compassion, his refusal to harm her despite her status, that chipped away at her prejudices. Or maybe it was witnessing the courage of his followers, their unwavering belief in a better world. Whatever the reason, Laeta made a choice. She chose to stand with the oppressed, to align herself with the man who held her captive. Her story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can bloom in the most unexpected of places. It reminds us that change is often born not from force, but from understanding and empathy. Chapter 4. Core, the guiding light. Core, a name that speaks of wisdom, of quiet strength and unwavering support. History whispers of her as a confidant of Spartacus, a woman who played a pivotal role in his rebellion, not with a sword, but with her mind. Core's strength lay in her sharp intellect and unwavering loyalty. Her insights proved invaluable in strategic planning sessions. She was the guiding light in Spartacus's darkest hour, a testament to the power of intellect and loyalty. Chapter 5. Naevia, a mother's fury. Naevia. Her story is a testament to the ferocity of a mother's love, the lengths a woman will go to protect her child. Her name echoes through the corridors of history, a rallying cry for all those who have faced unimaginable loss and emerged stronger, more determined. Imagine her world shattering as Roman soldiers ripped her child from her arms, a tragedy repeated countless times throughout the Roman Empire. The searing pain, the raw primal scream for justice, for vengeance. Naevia's journey into Spartacus's rebellion was paved with the stones of grief and fury. She was a Gaulish woman, her spirit hardened by loss, her will unbreakable. She saw in Spartacus a chance to avenge not only her own suffering, but the suffering of countless others. Think of her wielding a sword, her eyes blazing with righteous anger. Was she a whirlwind on the battlefield, her every strike fueled by the memory of her lost child? Did her courage inspire those around her, transforming their fear into a shared thirst for retribution? Naevia's story reminds us that strength can be found even in the depths of despair. It challenges us to confront injustice, to fight for a world where a mother's love is met not with cruelty, but with compassion. Though her story may be tinged with tragedy, it is ultimately a story of resilience, of the indomitable spirit that burns bright even in the face of unimaginable darkness. The women of Spartacus's rebellion may not have shared his fame, but their stories deserve to be told. They were the wives, the sisters, the mothers who dared to challenge an empire. They were the strategists, the warriors, the guiding lights who shaped the course of history. These women remind us that even in the face of unimaginable cruelty, the human spirit can endure. They challenge us to look beyond the battlefield, to recognize the quiet acts of courage, the sacrifices made, the love and loyalty that bind us together. If you found their stories inspiring, hit that like button and share this video with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more untold stories of history's hidden heroes.